So I'm going to share with you this Saturday morning about 5 a.m. the truth in high performance, the truth in productivity, whether it's personally or professionally. And high performance to me is just doing a little bit better than we are doing. It's not about being compared against someone else. The second piece I'm going to talk to you about is it's not a new hack. It's actually what you unpack. And the final piece, at the end of the video, I'm going to talk to you about the one energy shift that will change everything personally and professionally. Good morning. It's John Cheplak's heavy breathing hour because I just got done working out and I wanted to come to you because I feel good. And that's a little tip I'd give to you is listen, I have my self-defeating thoughts and it's easy to want to skip things and, right after a workout, think about something you're really uncomfortable with but you just can't help but feel good about yourself right after a workout, even if you don't deliver whatever it is you need to at the highest level. But I want to always keep in mind, though, have you keep in mind too, the one common theme that I'm sharing with you. It's not only consistency that I'm showing up here on video, but the consistency. See, the thing I want to point out to you is, and I posted it just a second ago, is things are good for all of us right now. When I say good, the economy's good. People are making some money. And say your relationships are really good. Say life's going really good. Whatever it is, anything that's good right now in your life, I don't want to live in fear, but I want to know I'm vulnerable. I'm vulnerable right now. I'm really vulnerable. I'm vulnerable because my business is good, my relationships are good, things are growing. Do I have things going on in my life? Sure I do, 100%. You don't hear a lot about all the things because I don't want to give those things energy. I acknowledge them and I deal with them. But here's what I know. When things are good, I'm doubling down. I just did a 24-hour flip. Left 11 p.m. Thursday night, hit the ground. And this isn't the I'm wonderful, it's the choices that I make. Hit the ground at 7 a.m., hit a coaching call for a nice 1,300 agent company I've been consulting with, hit the stage, flew back, jet lag, time zones, all those things. And you know what I got to do? I got to double down. I got to get up at 1:30 a.m. and get here to the gym. It's one of those things that you look at is, a little comparison, nurture or am I self-destructing? And believe me, the overarching theme of that is rest, but I want you to remember consistency. Remember consistency. Look at the things that, some of the quotes that we hear is, what got you here won't get you there. That's bullshit. That is absolute bullshit. The definition of an entrepreneur, and I shared it the other day, is things start going really, really well, and they change it. I've had the conversation on coaching calls this last week. Okay, now what should I do? You should double down on what's working. Oh, it's that simple? It is that simple. So what I want to talk to you about is this. Here's the deal. Over the last 6 or 7 days, I've been sharing with you strategies and tactics that are market tested, market proven, ones where I take action. One of the things you're going to find with me is rarely I'm going to share something where I'm not taking action, where I haven't tested it. For sure, my clients have tested it. And then yesterday, I spent 2 hours speaking with a group packed with agents, okay? Now here's the thing, and you know this if you're a leader or even as a student, the question is, will the people I'm leading take action? The question is, will I take action? And here's the interesting thing, and this is what I want to work you through now, because, go back and watch my Facebook Lives, and if you just take some action on what I've shared in the last week, you're going to have a real moment. You're going to have an amazing moment in your business, which again will impact your life, okay? But what's really interesting is I know what people really need. I know because I get messages, okay? Because I am less than 24 hours removed from a speaking engagement with some of the best teams in the world that drove in to see it. Friends of mine that are friends of Albie's. I'm not saying they're there because of me. That's not the thing of any promotion around that. We had top agents. We had mortgage people in there. And I get questions asked during the session. I get questions asked afterwards. I get comments. I get feedback, tons of feedback, and I engage with everyone. And you know something? People aren't looking for a new magic pill. They think they are. They think they are. what people are looking for is, what is my obstruction to take action with what I know, with what I have? What is the obstruction? What's getting in the way? Period. What's getting in the way? Time zones could have gotten in the way. Okay, jet lag, cabin pressure, the miserable person I sat next to on the flight back. I'm kidding. I get those people because I need to work on patience. I said, God gave me this person. I guess this is my lesson. What is she here to teach me about me? What is she here to teach me about me? Oh, that's right. You're impatient, John. You know, everyone shows that. That's the beauty of it when you operate that way. But I want to help you with what I've shared with you. If you sat in the room with me yesterday and you were excited, if you're sitting here today and you know it's not an if, you've got an action step you need to take. You've got an action step you need to take that'll change everything. So number one, write this down. Most of you listening to this, watching this, whether it's on my podcast later or it is here, Facebook Live, we ain't getting out of this thing unscathed. And you're probably here not, listen, you don't get to this point in life unscathed. And I want to help you because I am in the productivity business. My friends, the people that I spend the most intimate time with, are high performance. I've had them come and speak at my events. They are intense, they are clear, they're not perfect, but they are super high performers. So those are my friends. We study, we talk about what it takes, and then the people I work with, they come to me because they want high performance. We're walking along the path. I'm no better than them, but there's principles that align. Here's the critical piece is what holds people back is not the not knowing how. What holds people back is not the what someone's going to say. Let me say this again. You need to hold on to this. What's not holding people back is what someone's going to say or if I'm going to get judged. Okay? It's not about that. You know what it is? It's the unconscious brain that is thinking about the drama or the trauma from the past that we haven't dealt with. See, it's not a new hack. Getting you to do video, getting you to call your leads more often because you don't want to be annoying, making the recruiting call, asking for the order with the recruit when you need to, challenging a top producer with the risk that they might leave you. It has nothing to do with what's it going to look like. It has to do with the moment of a drama or a trauma from the past. Period. It's science. It can be childhood, it can be in adulthood, it can be something that has to do with rejection, it can be something that has to do with abandonment. Think about it. Rejection, abandonment. Think about those principles. See, it's the past, it's the unconscious brain. And let me give you a parallel. See, it's not about a new hack. It's having the strength to go within yourself and unpack a situation with your children. You know, it's really clear. I was an alcoholic from 21 to 41. It's really clear. I had a preferred customer card at the rehab joints, 9 or 10 of them. I lost count. The inpatient, the outpatient, the 1 year, the 30 days, the graduate, and the irony of it, here's what's interesting, okay? I never quit trying to quit. And the one I didn't graduate from is my last one. And I've been clean 11 and a half years. But so let me take you to this. It's not a hack. It's what will I unpack. See, what happens when you look for a new hack, you're in avoidance. You're in avoidance. Let me give you the comparison how the brain works. So you're operating on your computer and it starts running slow. You're getting at this climax. I guess I used the word. Anyways, a climactic moment in your business or your personal life, all right? And then it crashes. The computer crashes. That's how the brain works. See, because there was a virus back there, and all of a sudden, things are slowing down in the computer, okay? And then all of a sudden, at the moment, you've got it complete. You're ready to send something. You're ready to do something with it, okay? The computer crashes because the virus wasn't cleaned. You ever have that happen with yourself? Are you sitting here stuck right now? Look back historically where you got to this point and then you crashed. Maybe you crashed in a relationship. Maybe you crashed in a business, in a partnership, in something that maybe the next implementation, it just crashed. You gave excuses, but it crashed because the virus was still running. You didn't do your antivirus work. You haven't unpacked it. So what's happening is it's an energy, and it's this final piece. It's an energy of resistance. See, we're resisting those things that we're embarrassed about. That I was an alcoholic, that I wasn't emotionally present in my marriages, with my children. And I could put on this show out front that looks good or sounds good, but then there's this energy, this exhaustion. People say, why do you have so much energy? Because you know what? I'm constantly cleansing. We've got to constantly cleanse. We've got to constantly unpack the wreckages of our past. We need to go in our past. We're taught wrong. See, the reason that you won't take action with the things that I've shared this week, or someone won't take action with the things that I've shared this week, is because they've got a resistant energy within them. They haven't unpacked the past. I've unpacked it with my kids. Moments that I'm not proud of, the person that I was for so long. You know how many people, how many parents are carrying that right now? You can't put on the mask. You just can't. You can, but I tell you what, it's not sustainable and it's going to exhaust you. That's the difference. That's the difference. It's energy management. Okay? It's energy management. That's the thing that you've got to look at. How am I managing my energy? And the most important energy to manage is the darkness, the things that you're not proud of, the things that you're embarrassed of, the things that you're avoiding. Because avoidance is a resistant energy. Think about this. When you walk into a listing presentation, when you're in front of your team at a sales meeting, when you are doing a recruiting interview, your energy screams at the room before you open your mouth. Your energy screams at the buyers and sellers before you open your mouth. And if you think that the things that have happened privately don't show up in our energy publicly, you're wrong. You're wrong. Because it's just like the virus in the computer. You can't see the virus. The computer's running slow. It's bogging down. And then it crashes at the last minute. It crashes at the last minute. So I have a solution for you because it's something that I had to do. And I don't care who you are. You're not getting out of here unscathed. And I would say this, there's probably not a single person that will watch this video that does not have a drama or a trauma in their life that they quite possibly have not dealt with, that they have not quite possibly actually embraced. Yes, I said embrace it, and seen it for the lesson. See, they've seen it for the contrast. See, on a daily basis, I visit the darkest spaces so that I stay humble, so that I stay vulnerable. Okay? See, the most dangerous places to be in is when things are really good, because we get amnesia and we fooled ourselves. If we're in resistance in those wreckages of our past, those, whether it could be a divorce, it could be something worse, it could be a death in our family, it could be an abandonment issue. I had to, about 5 or 6 years ago, I had not really just thought about it. You know, well, my dad died when I was 5. And then one of the people that I work with, I call them my coaches. They're coaches, my therapist, said, you've got abandonment issues. And so I had to go down the path in abandonment issues. And you want to know what happened with my business? People say, oh, your business, this and that. You know what? My business is fine. It's great. I'm happy with the growth of it. And you want to know the reason that I think it's growing? I know it is. There's personal choices. I don't make good business decisions. I really don't. I make good personal decisions. And when there's some darkness, when there's some resistance, I go and unpack it. And one of the ladies I've worked with for about 7 years, she said, you have abandonment issues. Come on, my dad died when I was 5. And we did deep work on that stuff, and it broke me through. It broke me through. Because what you've got to do is you've got to release and cleanse every energy around you, within you, that has resistance in it, that has avoidance in it. Otherwise, here's what's going to happen. You're going to keep going to seminars. You're going to keep seeing the next innovative thing. But you have that resistance back there, and you're not worried about, this is how the brain works. You're not worried about someone's going to say to you or how it's going to look. You're worried about having a feeling that's similar to that feeling from the past that almost broke you. And that's the truth. See, people making fun of us, people judging us, that's a toxic mimic. It's a toxic mimic for the truth. The truth is, I personally, for me, and it's not perfection, I personally have been embarrassed. It's no mystery the things that I've gone through, whether it's divorces, my parenting, many things. It's no mystery the things that I've gone through, but you want to know what? Here's the thing. They're not in hiding. And I'm not saying you got to go tell the world, but you can't hide them from yourself, because they're not hiding. They'll be there forever. Forget about your past. No, it's never going away. Embrace your past and see it for the contrast that you need. See it for the contrast that you need so that you can be consistent. I didn't want to be here this morning after jet lag and airplanes and all that, and I had a great week and great feedback. I don't. But guess what? I visit the shadow, I visit the light. They play together. I want to keep cleaning. I don't want resistance. I don't want to fool myself with, many times we can think that nurturing ourselves would be take a day off from the gym. And I don't mean don't rest, but I'm talking about, I've got my rhythm. I know what works. I know how I perform at the highest level. It's like this. People think that TV is nurturing them. No, reading a book is nurturing you. Watching TV is self-destructing. People think that happy hour is nurturing themselves. Okay? No. Going home, spending time with your kids or a significant other, or going to the gym is nurturing yourself. Going to happy hour is self-destructing yourself. See, don't get fooled by the toxic mimics, but the single most important thing I want you to come into, listen, and you've said it too, the energy thing I'm sharing with you, it's not a kumbaya. It's the truth. If you don't think a buyer, a seller, a recruit, the agents that work for you, don't feel you before you open your mouth, you've got issues. I mean, you're living on another planet. And there's only two energies, emotions. There's two emotions, and then the two energies underneath them. Those two emotions are love and fear, okay? And so with fear comes resistance to doing something new. It's a resistant energy, resistance to moving to the truth, okay? With love, there is acceptance. See, this is how simple this thing is. Y'all have everything you need. I hope I shared some things that reaffirmed or reminded you, or hopefully it was something new that I've shared with you in the last 6 videos. Today, it's about your head and your heart, getting those two aligned and looking at those things, because I got news for you. You're confused the reason why you don't go to the gym. You're confused as why you don't do video. You're confused as why you don't call people a little bit more. You're confused as to why you don't move to a conflict to get resolution. You're confused and you think it's about that moment, and it's not. The moment is a toxic mimic that unconsciously takes you back to something you still have resistance to. I can speak my truth, not perfect. I can move to the things that are uncomfortable, not perfect, because every day I'm doing work. I've gone back and I go to the dark. I go back to maybe where I didn't treat someone well. I went back to someone that I know showed for a speaking engagement in my drinking days with a room full of people. I went back 12 years ago when it wasn't brought up, and I went back and brought it up and called that very, very reputable multi-state owner. This happened 12 years ago. I no-showed for a massive franchise, massive region, highly respected person over a bunch of branch managers. They were sitting in a room. They were sitting in a room, and I was at the tail end of my alcoholism, and I called and said my flight was canceled. They said, no, we checked. And I said, you're right, I'm lying. I'm an alcoholic, my life's a mess. I left a bunch of branch managers in a room. Didn't even call them the night before. I waited till the day when everyone was in the room. Yeah, that was 11 years ago. That was the trail end of my drinking. And you know what? Time went by, no big. You know it was a big deal. Because you want to know what I'm doing? See, I'm constantly cleansing and clearing and facing it. So about 9 months ago, I picked up the phone in a very busy schedule. I look at the value of my days, and I put a very high value to it based on what I'm worth per hour. You should too, okay? And I called that owner up and said, you don't need to, I just want to offer. I want to fly out on my dime. I want to give value to your leaders. Here are some people I've worked with that you know, you can check with them. I left you guys hanging. It was an embarrassment. I know that bringing someone back into your leaders, like lots of them, okay, some that have been recognized as the best in that franchise, is a risk. And I respect that. But I want to make right. I want to make this clean. And I'm going to come for 2 hours. I want no money, no speaking. I will sell nothing, no calls to action. Can I make that amendment? Can I have an opportunity to clean that up? And he let me. It's better than any tax statement, than any amount of money I'll ever make. It's clearing space for me. It's clearing space for me. It's clearing space for me to no longer have the resistance. And now I'm looking for more, because I lived a life that way for many years. And you may say, well, this isn't relevant to me. You know what I'd say? No, it's not. You probably weren't an alcoholic for 20 years. And you know what goes with being an alcoholic for 20 years. But I can promise you this, there's probably a lot of things you can clean up. There's some dramas and traumas, there's some afflictions, there's some addictions, there's things you can clean up. Because here's the really neat thing, because now that I've moved space for that, what I've done is I've grown. And here's what happens. It opens me up into a space of acceptance instead of resistance. See, resistance takes from you and takes from others. Acceptance gives to you, it opens things up. And here's what I know is going to happen. Something else is going to come up from that past that'll show up that maybe I didn't think of, maybe I wasn't worried about, or maybe I let go. And guess what? I'll knock that one off too. And I'll keep cleaning it up and cleaning it up. Because you know the most important momentum for all of us is do the next right thing right. If we stay in doing the next right thing right, if we stay in moving to the personal things, if we stay in unpacking versus looking for the hacking, if we stay in unpacking the darkness, if we stay in visiting the past as our lesson, as our classroom, our future is in our past. So I hope that you found that helpful to you. It's the truth. There's some literature, some of the people I've studied with, I've shared it many times. There's a book that's written that really unpacks this and is really helpful to people. It's called The Shadow Effect by Debbie Ford. And the shadow effect, there's 3 sections. Marianne Williamson wrote the first part, Deepak wrote the last part, and then Debbie Ford wrote the 140 pages in the middle. And I spent 2 days with her. I read the book, spent 2 days with her. It's 10 years later, I still read that. And that's my final tip I'm gonna give to you. You know, stop bragging about all the books you got through. Start bragging to me and to everyone else about the 2 or 3 books you read and what you got out of it and the action you took from it. Stop bragging about all the books you got through. Start bragging about the 2 or 3 that you're obsessed with, and what you got out of it, and how you're applying the principles and how you're revisiting it. Because Debbie Ford's in my headphones reminding me, see, we got to continue to record over our old recordings. We've got to continue to record over this. We've got to face them, but we've got to create new recordings. We've got a black box. Malcolm Gladwell talks about the brain is like a black box. When the airplane goes down, we've got old flight recordings. Those old flight recordings are always going to be there, but we've got to create new recordings and bring them in. We've got to create new recordings and bring them in. So Most importantly, I don't care at what level you go. I just care that it's a level that's a little bit better for you each day. I care that it's a level that supports the things that you want personally and professionally. And if I haven't met you or haven't seen you out there on the road, hey, I'm going to keep doing this work. And chances are maybe we'll see each other out there on the road. Have an amazing weekend. Stay consistent. The other piece I want you to look at, here's a really good little exercise for high performance, for elite performance. I want you to look at some things, okay? And I want you to look at, is this a nurturing thing or is it self-destructing? See, and here's the example. Watching TV is self-destructing. Reading a book is nurture. Happy hour, okay, and drinks is self-destruct. The gym is nurture. That's my opinion. It's not everyone's. I'm just sharing mine, and I know that not everyone agrees with me, and I don't want everyone to agree with me. And I'm not trying to be all things to all people. What I am doing is being crystal clear and not being all over the board, trying to be all things to all people and nothing to no one. What I know is that people that are congruent with the principles, it's not John Cheplak, it's principles that are here for all of us. See, each one of us grabs onto principles. You'll find that the people you're with, okay, their energy and their principles map to yours. Now, if you're around people that complain a lot, if you're around people that are victims, if you're around people that aren't growing, look in the mirror. Look in the mirror. So, have an awesome Saturday. Send y'all much love. Peace out.